Hello there, Mr. Chink Positive. This is Pastor JR of Bacolod City. I have a question. What will we do to live during the lockdown? Number one. Number two, how should we give or share to others who do not have in the midst of a lockdown? And then after all, these things will be over and done. How should we bounce back again? God bless you.
How do we live during the quarantine period? There are two things that we can do. Number one, we need to live simply, and number two, we have to live wisely. Live simply, we just need to go back to the basics. Right now, na-realize po natin na yun nga, na hindi na tayo lumalabas, hindi naman tayo bumibili ng mga favorite food natin, hindi na tayo kumakain sa restaurant, hindi na natin nabibili yung mga sapatos, damit, gamit, makeup. Hindi na rin tayo nakakapag-travel, pumupunta sa favorite destination natin. Surprisingly, all of us still right now, we survive. At the same time, we are living simply right now, going back to the basics. Ano yung back to basics? Number one, important thing in life which we discovered right now is health. Number two is food, to be able to eat 2 to 3 times a day. And number three, it's the most important thing right now, it's time with family. So, living simply, I do believe God is teaching us that. Number two, we have to live wisely. Live wisely in the sense, we have limited budget probably right now, especially for those people who don't have any more work, or probably you're losing money with your businesses. So, whatever resources you have right now, kung ano man na natitira, we have to be wise in using it, in managing it, in spending it. So we need to cut down on unnecessary expenses. We need to cut down on things that we just want, but we cannot really afford right now because there's limited in terms of income. So the next question is, how can we give in times of crisis, in times of COVID-19? I do believe God is teaching us to give sacrificially. Just like on 2 Corinthians chapter 8, during the time of the Church of Macedonia, it is mentioned there, out of their extreme poverty, welled up rich generosity. So we just need to learn from these people that they have given. Even though they have nothing, they still gave something. So I do believe also that God is teaching us to really exercise right now our faith, that we should not be afraid that we will live in lack, because we belong to a community, and at the same time, God is our provider. God will provide through the friends, the community that we have. All we need to do is just be sensitive, not only to our personal needs nowadays, but we just also need to be sensitive to the needs of others. If you're eating 3 times a day, you might want to sacrifice just 1 meal and give that other meal to probably someone who's really in need. And the third is, how can we bounce back right now in times of crisis? There are 2 key words that I would like to share with you, and that's first word is what we call as adjust, and number 2, adapt. First, adjust and adapt. In this time, it is already proven the only thing that is permanent in this world is change. If we do not change, we become extinct. If we do not innovate, we evaporate. So it's very important for you as an entrepreneur, a businessman, or an employee. If you see that your industry right now is not getting anywhere, especially if you are talking about entertainment industry, people that has groupings, restaurants, concerts, weddings, catering. So if there are a group of people that you need to congregate in order for you to make money, I think you will have a hard time because it will take much more time for it to recover. So right now, it's time for you to adjust your business model. Especially, not only adjust, but you should also learn how to adapt. Adapt in the sense, what are the things that you can do? Most probably, right now, if you're an entrepreneur, you can start your business and transfer your business from offline to online. And then not only doing online in terms of ordering, but you must also do delivery door to door in order for you to survive your business. If you are an employee right now, you must already start working from home, because I do believe working from home will be the norm of the future. So start looking at opportunity that you could be able to work from home. At the same time, you can get jobs Like, for example, there are a lot of opportunities right now by becoming a virtual assistant, virtual professional, that you can do typing, you can do transcription, video editing, graphics design. So there are a lot of opportunities right now. This is what I've learned in this crisis that God is teaching us. So instead of us asking God, why did this thing happen? Why don't we ask God, what is God revealing to us and trying to teach us in these times of difficulties? And this is what I've discovered. In my faith walk with God, I do believe on Romans 8:28 that all things works for good for those who are called according to God's purpose. Whether good things will happen or bad things might happen, in the end, good things will come out of this, because He who started a good work in us will bring it into completion. At the same time that His plan for us is to prosper us, not to harm us, to give us hope and a future. His plan for us is to make us the head, not the tail. He will make us the lender, not the borrower. He will put us at the top, never be at the bottom. He has provided Joseph for 7 years of prosperity and 7 years of famine. God has prepared Joseph in times of crisis. And I do believe we as believers that we should also be in faith, that we should not live in fear, doubt, worry, stress, anxiety, and unbelief. Because God is teaching us to trust Him more in this difficult situation. I hope that I have encouraged you in these difficult times. This is CHINKpositiveTAN saying, to every problem, there's always a solution. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Always. Think positive.